I'm ripping down some offcuts of structural plywood outside where I have the room and while it's not raining. A camera and tripod in my small workshop is really difficult to work around, so I'm going to build a roof mounted camera rig. This means I don't have to tango with the tripod every time I want to move about. So I've got all the plywood cut to width. I've got a 150 by 9mm plywood, that's going to be the base of the track. Onto that is going some 12mm ply, 25mm wide, one on one side, one on the other, and then on top of that is going some 18mm ply, one on one side and one on the other. So basically what I'm making is an upside down T-track, and that will screw onto the roof of the workshop. A sliding carriage will fit into the track, and onto that will go an articulated arm which hopefully will support the weight of a tripod head and a DSLR camera. I've turned the plywood over and I have 18, 12 and 9mm layers. And I'm going to glue and screw them together in this direction. Hopefully I won't pop out the other side. I'm going to drill a clearance hole through the first two layers using a countersink bit so I can get the head of the screw below the surface. Because I'm using wood spur screws, they have a cutting slot at the end. When the screw goes in, it will cut its own way into that last layer of ply, pulling everything together. I need to check I've got enough screws. Oh. Oh, hello Leslie. Can Peter come out to play? I need to go to the toy shop and I can't go on my own.
Yeah, as long as you don't get into trouble.
Oh, come on. We're old. How can we get into trouble? Using glue and so many screws may seem like overkill, but I would rather over-engineer the project so I don't end up having to do it all again later on. Also, there's going to be a lot of weight on this track, and I don't want to see several £100 worth of camera equipment hitting that concrete floor. I got the inspiration for this project from Daniel Solowiej from Argentina. He has a great video on his channel where he made a rig similar to this using sliding door gear. I've put a link in the description down below for you to follow, as he has some really neat ideas and it's well worth a visit. So I've got my centre lines down all three pieces, and it's quite important that I get all these lined up, otherwise it's going to start fouling in the track. So what I've done is I've put a couple of pieces of double-sided tape on the back of these two, so I can pull that off and just use the tape to hold everything in place. And when I pop that on, I'm going to use the metal rule down that line, and it will extend that line out over the edges, and then I can eyeball the line on the bottom piece and get it nice and straight. And then when I'm happy with it, just give it a bit of a press and it'll stay in place. And I do exactly the same with the second one. I'll pop that on there, and I can still see the line from the first piece of wood, so on goes the ruler again, and then I can eyeball top and bottom. That's right, that's it, that's looking good. Okay, and I can press that down and they'll stay together enough for me to try it in the track. And if it runs nice and smooth, I know everything's lined up and I can put some screws through and the job's a good one. That's fine. So, does it hold the weight of the camera? Yes, it does. Job's a good one. Thanks for watching. See you again.